and welcome back to day 22. I am super pumped. Today we are diving into what I actually mean when I talk about the mirror principle, or people or experiences mirroring things back to you, because I was just catching up with the previous client yesterday and she shared some really important insights and questions in how she interpreted things, and I was like, oh gosh, that's something I really want to touch on, because I don't want other people, I want to make sure everyone understands what I'm saying and how to use this to your full advantage. Because when you understand this fully, it really allows for like exponential growth in all areas of your life. So as you are hopping on, drop some hearts down below. If you're catching the replay, comment replay, say hi, let me know that you're here, and we will get started. So the mirror principle is something you may have heard a lot about in different spiritual communities, and not even just spiritual, but a lot with the laws of the universe even, is like understanding as above, so below, as below, so above, as within, so without, as without, so within. Basically, like, it's the same. And everything in the universe, if you really look into different laws of the universe, different principles from ancient teachings, they're really talking about like everything is just like a micro of the macro. So even when we scale out and go into like universal things, they still operate, the galaxy, the universe, the way like planets orbit, these things that are massive still operate on the same principles as things as small as the cells within our bodies. They all follow some of the same principles. And so that's why, as within, so without, we as individuals are not just like some random being. Like, there's this deep connection and interconnectedness to all the things around us, other people and other things. So without getting into all of that, I just want to share. So I was talking with this previous client and she was saying, you know, when she first heard me start talking about people are mirroring to you, like they are your mirrors, the way she interpreted it, and let me know in the comments if you can relate at all, she interpreted it as like, okay, you know, this person that I work with, for example, or this person in my friend group was like being really negative and kind of toxic, and she saw it as a mirror and was interpreting it as like, oh my gosh, is that a reflection of me? Like, I don't think I'm that bad, or like I don't think I treat people the same way, and I don't think like that. So she was kind of taking it very literally, in the sense like, oh, just got like weird sounds. My, like, it's gonna sound crazy, but my psychic abilities have been like getting really wild the last few weeks, and every once in a while I get like, it's really happening a lot lately where I get super sharp like sounds and things. So I apologize. Just don't mind me. Just chilling. So she was taking things very literally, in the sense of like, that person is a direct mirror of who I am. And so that is showing me like, oh gosh, I have a lot of work to do. And it got to the point where then she was almost feeling disheartened and a bit depressed and sad, and feeling like, oh, you know, like, yeah, is this how I used to be? Or like, do I still have so far to go? And like kind of beating herself up. And that is not the intention. That is not what I wish for anyone to interpret when I talk about the mirroring. So if you felt that way, I really hope this video is going to help explain it in a new way for you, because that's not the point of it. So firstly, maybe for task 1, just write about if you've ever noticed people reflecting things to you at that time. Actually, I'll come back to that and I'll explain what I mean first, maybe. So what I do mean when I'm talking about mirroring is, for example, I just had this happen like the other day, where I personally am still working on like activating my voice and consistently speaking up for myself. I've gotten 1,000 times better, but I've still been selective. There's still certain people or situations where I notice I get like quieter or smaller. It's a bit more intimidating for me to speak fully. So what happened is I attracted this situation, and this person is mirroring back to me this insecurity or this opportunity for growth. So it's not that this person is a direct reflection of like me and now I need to feel bad or think that I did something wrong. It's like I'm looking at the lesson that this person is presenting me. So this person reached out and was pushing and crossing my boundaries, and I was kind of like replying very subtly, trying to get my point across. And I was also just hoping he would read my mind and understand. And it wasn't being clear. So what the mirror in this situation is like he is mirroring to me that like this is my opportunity of growth and of like fully speaking up and continuing to activate, continuing to stand strong in my power. Now, if I didn't, so I actually did it and it was beautiful and the situation ended. And I was like, damn, this is why we speak up sooner, because it's like freedom, right? Or breaking the pattern sooner is freedom. It doesn't have to be about speaking up. That's just my example. But if I didn't see the mirror, if I didn't see like, wow, what is this situation or what is this person, this discomfort that they're causing me to feel, right? Like it's causing me to feel like anxiety, or it's causing me to feel small, or it's causing me to question myself or feel like I need to please. Well, that's a mirror. That is a direct mirror to me of like, hey, this is because you have the chance right now to break that cycle and like stop it before it continues any further. So push through the discomfort and just end it, right? And that's exactly what I did, and that's what created the freedom. Now, in the past, and for other examples, there have been times where I don't see the mirror. I don't see what this person is trying to teach me yet. And so I get stuck in that cycle for a long time where, you know, like I just keep going along with it. This person keeps kind of pushing those buttons. I keep being frustrated or feeling my emotional response to it, but I'm still not taking the action to cut that out. I'm staying stuck in it. They keep mirroring it back to me. It's like they just keep pushing, and eventually what would have happened like years ago, I would have like burst and just like finally snapped and been like, probably the Taurus in me would have probably come out really strong, and it would have just like ended completely, and maybe not in a positive way. So for example, so here's task 1 is to look at, you know, what are some of the things that are stressing you out or causing some frustration or discomfort in your life right now. Okay, so task 1 is to identify what doesn't sit right with you. What's kind of like pushing your buttons or frustrating you, okay? Write those out. Task 2 is going to be to look at the mirror. So what is that mirroring to you about what either needs to change or how you can grow? So that's what the mirrors are. They're not about telling you you're a bad person or like you deserve this and like you did something to attract this person, it's your fault. No. If you've ever thought that way, please let that go. That's not the intention of it. It's seeing them as a mirror of like, okay, what is this telling me about either what I truly want and what I will no longer settle for? What is this mirroring to me about what I need to change within myself? Because if this person keeps showing up and it happens the same way, and the client I was talking to, she said this too, of like, oh yeah, it's these patterns where if it's not like the same person, it's someone different who shows up and does it too. And I'm like, yeah, because they're constantly, the universe works in these, it's a weird program. We live in such a program. So it sends these people or experiences to keep mirroring, and it's like it just keeps like hitting you on the head until you finally see, acknowledge, and make the change to level up. So where so many people get stuck is that they stay in those patterns. They maybe aren't aware of what's being mirrored to them, and they're not aware of the opportunity for growth. This is why I personally love personal development, why I love doing the work to grow and shift, because the more awareness I have, it's honestly mind-blowing how I respond now and what no longer affects me, and how I can see, oh wow, okay, so this person just said something to me and it really triggered me. Why is it triggering me? What's within me? What is it that they said? Does it like cut and kind of strike at an old wound or an insecurity? Is it bringing an old trauma to the surface? Is it pushing a button and trying to, like, is it poking the bear to try to get the bear to finally speak up and say, hey, that's not cool, I don't like that? Like, what is the trigger trying to mirror to me? So again, it's not about feeling like you did something to deserve it. It's like turn it into a game so you see, wow, okay, well, if I can understand and if I can learn and make a change from this place, then I have the power to shift, and then this stuff isn't going to affect me the same way. So the things that used to trigger me, or the people that used to be mirrors to me, for me, so often, I talk about it all the time, is my voice and my confidence in speaking up for myself. And especially in regards to men, a lot of patterns of unworthiness and men just treating me like I'm just a body and not like a mind or soul or heart or a human being and equal, right? And so what I see in those patterns, it's not that I believe I deserve it. It's not that I'm beating myself up for having it happen. It's that I can see, wow, okay, if this is a pattern that keeps happening in all my workplaces and with my bosses and with like the different men who come into my life, this is mirroring something to me. And so this is mirroring places where I can shift and grow and release and realize, okay, if I don't want to have those same patterns, those same things mirroring to me anymore, I get to change something about myself. So that's where I get to realize, okay, I do deserve better, and I'm not going to settle, and I'm not going to be quiet and just let people talk to me that way, or I'm not going to, even engage in the first place to get there, like I'm going to be so clear, so confident, so firm in my boundaries and in my voice that that's not even a possibility anymore, right? So that's the thing, that's the mirror. So really looking at, what is the opportunity for growth? What is it trying to teach you? And then that will be your task too, is like, what is it that I can take from this so that you're feeling empowered, you're not feeling stuck and small and limited. It's like, no, I'm taking my power back. I'm taking control back over this situation. Here's how I can do that. So if it's a coworker who's treating you really poorly, and this is a cycle that happens all the time, what is that mirroring to you? Is it that you don't believe in yourself enough, that you don't believe you deserve better? Is it that you just stay quiet and take it? Or is it that like this is an opportunity for you to finally like speak up, set boundaries, or take whatever actions are necessary in a positive way to shift that, to leave the environment or to make a change to the environment, right? So taking the control back into your own life, using these people and experiences to mirror your opportunity to continue to grow. And that is going to be so transformative for you. So I highly recommend doing those things today. Let me know if this helps. Please feel free to comment any questions in regards to the mirror principle and like anything I've shared here. I'd love to know what you've seen in your own life with this before, or if you've never really paid attention to it yet, that's totally fine too. Either way, excuse me. And yeah, if you are someone who wants to understand more about, I talked very briefly today about the programming and like the system because our minds and the universe at large, like there is a program here that's running, and it keeps us looping until we break out of it and stop those patterns. Like, see the mirror, see the lesson, cut it out, shift, rise above it into the next version of ourselves. I have an amazing free training all about that with my 3-step process to reprogram your mind and shift your energy so that this is no longer happening. So if you're tired of being in those cycles all the time, I'll drop that link down below for the mindset training. You can check that out. And I go super, super in depth. It's really powerful, sharing with you how you can shift that in your own life starting as soon as you watch it. So get going. And if you found this video helpful, please, again, drop some hearts or hit the thumbs up, and I will see you on the next video. Bye, guys.